Infrared, what a great colorway. Infrareds, whenever you hear the word, you think infrared, you go straight to Jordan 6s for the classic infrared colorway, which dropped last year in retro for the first time in a while. If you're a regular viewer of my channel, or if you're up to speed on the latest sneakers, infrared LeBron 17s, ding, there's a link to that video right there, which I reviewed last week, I think it was. And it wasn't 100% complimentary about those infrared 17s. I love LeBron 17s, but those infrared ones didn't really sit very well with me. And then here we are with an infrared SB Dunk Low Pro, which is dropping on January the 20th. And I have to say, I love it. I think it's an absolutely fire looking sneaker. There's one tiny detail on it that I'm just kind of not sure of. I love its color, but I don't love its material. But we'll be getting that in. We'll be getting into that today as we take a closer look at the Nike SB Dunk Low Pro Infrared. This is a Tokyo About 23 sneaker channel. Tokyo About 23 sneaker channel des. Mainichi Absolute no de, Mainichi Mite Kudasai. And every single day I bring you content from Tokyo, Japan about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news, and sneaker reviews. And today we're looking at that upcoming release on January the 20th of the Nike SB Dunk Low Pro Infrared. And it is a cracking looking sneaker. As soon as I saw this, I was like, yes, reviewing that for the channel. I've talked before in previous videos about how I choose the sneakers that I want to review for the channel, which is quite difficult because there are so many of them. I actually had a list of 12 sneakers that I thought about reviewing for this kind of week, and I'm like, I can't review 12 sneakers and have a full-time job and have a young family. So it's really hard for me to choose which ones I'm going to review. Sometimes it's like, yeah, maybe, and then you dig into it and it's like, yeah, I want to check that one out. Sometimes it's like, yeah, and then you dig into it and it's like, nah, that's a stinking sneaker. And then other times, like these guys, it's like, whoa, yes, straight away, yes, yep, check, on the list, definitely doing that one. And it is as cool as I thought it would be, and it's a great looking sneaker. So I'm very happy to bring that today. Now, I did drop an SB Dunk Low video last week, which was difficult for me to do because I couldn't find very good pictures of that sneaker, and it was the Strange Love skateboards, which I'm sure I put a picture behind me here, and I'll put a link to dang right there. And I'm no stranger to the SB Dunk line, SB Dunk Highs, SB Dunk Lows, SB Dunk Low Pros. I've dropped a few videos about them on the channel. I'll be sure to sort of put up some SB Dunk links up here if you want to check them out, because I have reviewed quite a few, some of the collaborations like the Panda, what are they called, Pigeon Pandas, and the Fright Nights, Night of Fright, things like that. So, and today it's the Infrared's turn. It is a really cracking looking sneaker. I liked it very much. There was one point on it where I was surprised because I was expecting suede, but I got leather. And then there's that other point on it where I was like, I'm not sure if they've used the right material there. And we'll get into all of that today. But first, this is a YouTube channel and I need you to subscribe to it. So hit the subscribe button down below and the like button. People keep forgetting to like the videos. Like the video, please. It helps tremendously. And as I am here in Tokyo, Japan, I do say at the start of every single one of my videos, Toroku yoroshiku onegaishimasu. 下のいいねをクリックすると助かるのでそれもお願いします。Okay, let's get into these guys and look at what it is that I'm talking about. I think I'll start high and work my way low. And by high, I mean the tongue. And the tongue is it's actually one of my favorite features on the sneakers. It's kind of really, I don't know, maybe it's because it's so simple it helps the infrared to pop on it, but the tongue itself is lined. It's a white tongue, but it's lined around the outside with that infrared colouring and sort of infrared piping, which I really kind of like. But what sort of completes all of that is the tag itself with the branding on the front. So you've got your standard sort of Nike, swoosh, SB, and that infrared pop of colour on the white tag. But below that, in black, you've got some writing, and it took me a while to work it out, and I was hoping it would be more, but unfortunately it was just a very simple SB Dunk Pro, or Dunk Pro, Dunk Low Pro, SB Dunk Pro, Dunk Low Pro. below the tongue branding on there, and I was kind of disappointed. I was hoping for something more like infrared or something like that, but it's in black and it offsets the infrared of the tongue branding, and then on that white tongue, to me it really pops. I really liked it. I'm sure some people out there will not like it as much, which I'll explain why in a minute, because we're not there yet. But first we're going to go down a little bit and have a look at the first top eyelet on there. You can see is attached to a big black piece of leather. Now, I was expecting suede here. I don't have a problem with either, leather or suede. It doesn't really matter to me. They would both be fine on this sneaker, but what it is leather. And I was expecting suede because the other two major materials on this sneaker are suede. But it is actually leather, and I had to find a better picture than I usually, a different source for my picture than I usually would, to show you the leather part of it. And hopefully you're able to see it somewhere behind me here, that black panel that comes down from the top eyelet has got a sheen to it, which tells us that it's made of leather rather than suede. And the reason why I thought it would be suede is because of the swoosh and the midfoot and the quarter line and the toe box. But we'll start with just the swoosh, and we'll leave the midfoot, the quarter line and the toe box for later. But the swoosh itself is in that suede, and it's a sort of neutral grey. And by neutral grey, what I mean is you could have dark grey, you could have light grey, and then right in the middle, a standard grey swoosh on there, which works because the midfoot, the quarter line and the toe box are all in a light grey. And what I'll do is I'll pan down. So we've started on the swoosh, and behind the swoosh you can see that black leather there, which really offsets the neutral grey swoosh. But then as we come forward, that black leather is replaced by light grey, which I really dig. I dig the fact that the back half of the sneaker is a light swoosh on a dark upper, and then they flip that so it's actually the swoosh that's darker than the upper as we get into the midfoot and the quarter line, and then on into that toe box where you've got the light grey suede continuing. And this is where we have that question mark about materials, because the panel on the toe box there, under the sort of, the overlays of the toe box, the actual panel itself, hopefully I've zoomed in on it well enough here for you to see, is actually a mesh material and is not leather. And it's not really a design feature, like the Wings logo on a Jordan 1, or the cage on an Ultra Boost sneaker, for example. But the perforated holes that you'd normally see on the toe box are gone because you can't perforate mesh. You know what I mean? Like if you did punch a little hole in it, the threads would just over time kind of fade back in together, and you'd lose that perforated holes on there. Now usually, and again, hopefully behind me here, I've been able to show you another SB Dunk Low with its perforated holes in the toe box. Usually they would be there. If it's punched in leather, they will stay there. Those holes will stay there, forever, whereas it wouldn't work in mesh. And that's why these guys don't have the perforations, the perforated holes on the toe box. I still like this sneaker. I like the color, the way it's faded from dark on the heel through to light on the toe and into this mesh. It works for me. I don't know what it is about it. It might be to do with like the solidness of the colors as we've moved through the lateral side of the sneaker, and then when you get to the mesh, because it isn't broken up by those perforations, then it maintains that kind of solidness. So I kind of like the look of it. I don't know what it will look like in hand, mesh and suede together, but I mean plenty of sneakers do it, from Yeezy 700s to Air Max 90s to these SB Dunk Low Pros. So they could have gone with leather on there. They did go with mesh. To be honest, I think it'll be controversial to certain people, especially SB Dunk Low lovers. For me, I don't mind it. I don't have a problem with it. I think it looks good, and that's all that really matters, whether or not it goes against your personal credo on the materials that should be used for making SB Dunk Lows. There's still a few more things to look at though, and we'll rewind all the way to the back of the sneaker and maybe do a quick shoot all the way back to the back end of the sneaker where we'll get to the heel, and you can see that pop of infrared. This is the second place where that pop of infrared comes on there. So on the tongue with the tongue branding and the tongue lining, that piping around the tongue, and then on the heel, where it's a very simple heel tag in that infrared colorway. That's your sort of gentle pops of color in the upper, but then you've got this monster pop of color, hit of color on the outsole, which is massively infrared. But because basically the outsole is pretty much not seen most of the time, then it looks great to me. It looks really, really good. There is a danger when you have a sneaker like this and you add that color, that signature color to it, that color overpowers the sneaker. But because the majority of that color is on the outsole, and the outsole is by and large out of sight, then I think it looks really good. I think they've got the balance of the colors right in the sneaker. So if I draw this whole thing back out so that we're looking at the whole sneaker itself, I think it looks really, really good, and I think the balance of the colors on there really, really, really works. So that's my review of these upcoming SB Dunk Low Pro infrareds. Before I chip away and say farewell, I'm going to go over to the butter movement side of things, which we do on every single video. And we usually play a game where you have to guess what rare sneaker Shoe Butter is going to bring us on a Sunday. But yesterday we didn't, because I forgot to give you the hint. The hint on Tuesday was Fred Jones, and I should have said yesterday player exclusive, and then today the hint is Pacers. So if from those three things, Fred Jones, player exclusive, Pacers, if you think you can work at what rare sneaker is coming to the channel on Sunday, hit me up with a comment down below. As usual, I mean, here's that playlist, bang, to some of the rarest sneakers in the world that Shoe Butter brings us every single Sunday, and I appreciate them very much, and I hope you appreciate the content very much yourselves too. For now though, it's time for me to sign off. Thank you guys for checking out my content. I do appreciate you guys being here, and as I do this every single day, it means that you are guaranteed to see me tomorrow.